Hi, I'm Governor Tom Vilsack from Iowa. Canada, congratulations on your new 24-hour clock.
Congratulations, Canada, for legalizing insulin.
People can be like sock puppets. They'll say anything you want them to say. Just know which levers to pull. Let's start with physical appearance. Number 1, wear a suit.
Do you think that America should be bombing Bouchard?
Yes.
Should NATO be bombing Bouchard?
Yeah.
Do you think America should be bombing Bouchard?
Yes.
And what happens when the Canadian comedian replaces Bouchard with a province from his own country?
Do you think that America should be bombing Saskatchewan?
Absolutely.
Absolutely?
Yeah.
What about ground forces? Do you think ground forces should be sent into Saskatchewan? That might be safer.
That's what they're going to have to do. That's what they're going to have to do.
So bomb Saskatchewan?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Have a good day.
Number 2, hold a microphone.
Just read it to yourself, and then if you want to. Yeah.
To the Right Honorable Paul Martin Jr., Prime Minister in Waiting.
I'm not sure how to say that.
How do you say that?
Tet.
Ted
de Merde.
Dumer.
Ted Dumer.
Tête du merde. Tête de merde.
Excellent. Tête du Merde, Ottawa, Canada.
Given that 2001 has been declared the year of the senior citizen, we demand that the Government of Canada discourage the Canadian tradition of placing senior citizens on northern ice floes and leaving them to perish.
Yeah, I'll sign that.
So what are you studying again?
History.
Right, very good.
I definitely believe that senior citizens shouldn't be placed on ice floes.
And you're a prof here?
Yeah.
How many years?
9.
You like it?
Yeah.
Look like a reporter, and many will take you at face value. But you also need to speak like you're stating facts. Which brings us to number 3. Ask loaded questions.
And do you think that America should attempt to free Nelson Mandela?
Yes.
Do you think that the United States should just stand by and allow Canada to ignore the U.S. Constitution and everything that great document stands for?
No, I don't think so.
No?
No.
There's a simple way to create loaded questions. Ask people to congratulate you.
Congratulations, Canada, for getting a McDonald's.
Congratulations, Canada, 800 miles of paved road.
So you used to work in news?
I did for about 15 years. Congratulations, Canada, on legalizing staplers.
Congratulations, Canada, for legalizing insulin.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And the diabetics, thank you.
Oops! For Canadians, this joke hits hard because insulin was invented in Canada. Number 4. Exploit people's fear of looking dumb.
And how long do you think Gilles Duceppe could withstand the pounding?
Not much longer.
A recent survey in Canada showed that 70% of grade 7 students couldn't find their home state on an unmarked map. Do you believe that this shows that there's a crisis in Canada's public education system?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes, I do.
Hang on. Canada has provinces.
Sometimes it's good to be a kid. Number 5. Use social proof.
As you're probably aware, it's been widely reported that the mining rights to Mount Rushmore is actually held by a Canadian company. They say that they want to do preliminary explorations to see if there's any plutonium in the mountains. They want to do precision blasting in the off-season, but some people are saying that's not acceptable. They should be forced to drill into the heads from behind. What do you think?
I think probably from the back.
I think from the back of the mountain. Why mess up? You know, this is a national monument.
Choose the course which has the least impact on the environment.
Right.
And if that involves precision blasting, which it should, I think that's probably okay.
Number 6. Say that you're reporting official facts.
We're down here getting reaction to the fact that Canada is opening a university. Would you ever consider going to a university in Canada? It's our first one.
Congratulations, Canada, on opening a university.
Thanks very much. Are you a professor here at Harvard?
Professor, yes.
Yes, here at Harvard.
Yeah.
Well, we're down here getting reaction to the fact that the Canadian government has decided to resume the Saskatchewan seal hunt. What do you think of that?
Well, I think it's bad myself. Yeah, I'd like to see that stop.
Number 7. Mix nonsense and normal in a story.
In Canada, because of the separatist movement, the French separatist movement in Canada, we've decided to allow Irish Canadians to vote. Do you think that's a good idea?
Of course. Congratulations, Canada, for allowing the Irish to vote.
Number 8. Appeal to fairness.
Have you heard about the Genome Project?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. Now, in Canada, students in Canada academically have always tested lower than students in the United States. And like when I was a student, this is something that we were always told to be ashamed of, and we were always striving to do as well as our American counterparts. Now, because of this Genome Project, these scientists are saying that 80% of Canadians are technically developmentally delayed. So basically, you know, in the old days, they'd say retarded. In the old days, now they say it's developmentally delayed. Now, the question is whether or not Canadians should be embarrassed about this, or whether Canadians should just embrace it and celebrate it as part of their culture.
I think it's something you should celebrate. Whatever you have is something that you should celebrate.
You are what you are, and everybody should be able to make themselves into something fine.
You can always find the good side of something that is not quite up to par.
Number 9. Promise people hope.
We found it quite fascinating the way that you guys held an election, and there was confusion about who voted for who, especially here in the state of Florida. And we're wondering if there's any discussion of adapting a Canadian system, like a prop style of voting. So it's the pine cone bark system, and if you're voting for the guy who's in power, you put a pine cone in the box. And if you're voting for the guy who's not in power, you put a piece of birch bark in the box. And that way there's no confusion.
I don't know, I think it sounds better than what we were doing.
Would you like the birch bark pine cone system? I mean, it's simple.
If that's the easiest thing to do, why not?
You know, like all those pictures of people examining the vote to determine, well, you don't have to examine a pine cone and a birch bark.
I'd agree.
It might sound odd, but there's no confusion whatsoever who you're voting for.
I think it's got merit to that. We can do that here.
In 30 years of democracy, we haven't had a single recount.
Actually, you know, it couldn't be any worse than Chads and Dimples and...
Yeah, there's none of that. There's no Chads, there's no Dimples, there's no punch cards.
Probably more ecologically sound.
I mean, the only problem we have in Canada is that after, like, say, 1,000 people have voted, that's very heavy. You know, you get 150 pine cones, weighs a couple of kilometers.
I'm sure we can deal with that.
When you combine all the tactics, look at what can happen.
Canada is thinking about getting a navy because Canada are allies with the United States, and if the U.S. gets in any trouble, we'd like to have a navy and help out. But a lot of people in Canada now are saying this is a really stupid idea because Canada doesn't have any access to the ocean, so why the hell would we have a navy? What do you think?
Oh, I don't know.
Do you think we should have a navy, or do you think it makes no sense at all?
Well, it probably doesn't make a lot of sense. Do you think it makes sense? I don't know.
Well, no, I don't, personally, but then I'm a journalist, so I'm supposed to be unbiased.
I would say no. I'd say no.
But do you think there's any point in Canada having a navy if we don't have any access to ocean?
I don't know. I really don't know. I'd stick to the air then if you don't have water.
We don't have harbors for a navy.
Oh. Well, that's a good point, but I think if you can do it, everybody needs a navy.
Right.
Because you never know. I mean, look what we're going through right now.
Maybe you could build a harbor.
Or we would have to keep our Canadian Navy in a U.S. port.
That would be really very good. Good trade relations.
You don't need a navy. Just use the Americans. We'll help support you.
So do you think it's kind of a dumb idea for Canada to get a navy if we don't have access to the ocean?
No, I think they should still have a navy regardless.
But we'd have to park our ships in U.S. ports.
All right, we're all on the same side, aren't we?
Number 10. Be non-controversial.
Hi, I'm Governor Mike Huckabee of Arkansas, wanting to say congratulations, Canada, on preserving your national igloo.
Thank you, Governor. Thanks for being part of 22 Minutes.
Thank you.
The most watched news team in Canada.
Excellent.
Thank you.
And remember, anyone can fall for these tricks, even the Vice President and the President.
From Canada. Do you think Al Gore would know that Toronto was the capital of Canada?
Well, I would hope so, but he probably does.
You don't hear him talk about Canada, do you?
No, you don't. Of course not.
That's true, you don't. No.
Do you think he'd know that Toronto was the capital of Canada?
Well, I'll give him credit. He might know that.
Question from Canada. You know, it is a tradition that newly elected presidents always make their first foreign visit trip to the capital of Canada. Can we expect to see President Gore in Toronto in the new year?
Well, I'm just focused on the election.
Governor Bush, a question from Canada.
Good luck.
Question from Canada.
All right, what about it?
Prime Minister Jean Poutine said that he wouldn't endorse any candidate. He says that you look like the man who should lead the free world into the 21st century. Yeah, so what do you think about that? How's his endorsement?
Well, I appreciate his strong statement. He understands I believe in free trade. He understands I want to make sure our relations with our most important neighbor to the north of us, the Canadians, is strong.
And on that note, it is time to say goodbye from Washington, D.C.
I trust you'll agree when I say that this broadcast has a great educational purpose. In fact, it is my fond dream that someday this program will be shown in all of our schools. And if only one child is inspired by our 24-hour clock, our national igloo, our Saskatchewan seal hunt, or yes, even the bilingual tours of a great ecological preserve, well then, it will have been worth it. Good night from Washington, D.C. I'm Rick Mercer. God bless America.
Indeed, there's a great educational purpose, because what you see isn't about American gullibility. It could happen anywhere. In fact, a video with hundreds of thousands of views said this.
So they legalized, I don't know if you realize, in Vancouver, they legalized all drugs, fentanyl, cocaine, heroin.
People believed it, even though it wasn't true. The truth is, wherever you live, people can be persuaded to believe almost anything if it's told with confidence. The only protection is awareness. Once you recognize the tricks, you're less easy to manipulate. And that lesson is worth far more than a national igloo.